Many years ago, I came to South Africa to set up an airline for Richard Branson. Anybody who understands the aviation industry will know that starting an airline from a zero base in a new country is a task that takes an entire team of people 2 years to do. In this case, there were 2 of us, and we had less than 6 months. That was situation normal at Virgin. Richard's philosophy has always been, if you're given an opportunity and you're not sure if you can do it, say yes anyway and figure it out as you go along. That's how I love to work. I joined the airline while it was still in its infancy and writing its policies on the back of fag packets. And I thrived in its non-bureaucratic culture, and pretty soon I joined a rotating pool of senior managers that went around the world setting up and running airlines in different countries. I was your classic high achiever. I worked hard, I played hard. I was addicted to being busy, I was addicted to adventure. Anything less than 150% effort simply wasn't good enough. I thrived by flying by the seat of my pants. I defined myself by the title on my business card, being smart, being savvy, and getting results. Failure wasn't an option. I thought I was bulletproof. I had Richard Branson's phone number on speed dial. I flew around the world in first class, and I got paid in pounds. Until one day, I had a complete meltdown in front of Richard and hundreds of high-profile guests at a launch event in Cape Town. It's actually quite funny now. Richard was doing one of his stuntman entrances through the roof of the marquee, suspended from a crane. And I'm supposed to be on stage to this throng of 800 people emceeing the event. I didn't make it to the stage. I was busy passing out in the background. From burnout, exhaustion, and complete overwork. Now, the reason that I share this story with you is that, burnout is becoming a global epidemic. In international surveys, 72% of execs are experiencing the same thing. Now, I learned a lot from this experience. I learned about failure, I learned about humility, but for the first time in my life, I recognized the conflict that was raging inside myself. Externally, I had everything that I'd reached the pinnacle of my career. But inside, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I cared about. I didn't know who would want to be led by me. Martin Luther King sums it up in this beautiful quote: "Power without love is reckless and abusive. Love without power is sentimental and anemic." So my question is how do we reconcile the two? In a world of diversity where we're trying to bring more harmony into the world at this beautiful place that we're in, how can we do that unless we find the harmony in ourselves? So what I would like to leave you with is another story. A story which comes from Prague, from Europe. It tells the story of a Jewish priest called Isaac. And Isaac has a dream. And this dream keeps recurring. And it forces him to go on a journey, because the dream says to him that if he goes to another country and he goes to a bridge that connects the city to the king's palace, underneath that bridge he will find a treasure. And so this dream is so profound that he pushes himself to go on this journey. And when he gets there, he suddenly finds that the bridge is guarded heavily and he can't get to this treasure which is under the bridge. And the captain of the guards notices this man who is now in tattered shoes and clothes, as it's taken him months to get there, and says to him, "Who are you and why are you here?" So Isaac tells him the dream, and the guard laughs. And he said, "I too have had a dream, that a man called Isaac would come here searching for treasure. And in my dream, I was told to tell Isaac that if he goes back to the house, back to the village where he lives, and he goes to the hearth behind the stove, he will find some loose bricks, and the treasure is right there." And so Isaac does that. He goes home, he finds the treasure, and he builds a community. He builds a community where people can pay attention to the dreams of their lives. So what I'm sharing with you is how often do we strive and drive and go out there in the world looking for things where the heart, the hearth, is right there under our very noses? How often do we find that we're striving for things and then we recognize that the really deep love that we need to find is really in with ourselves? The Africans have a proverb: what the heart loves is the cure. What is it that your heart is longing for? Because I think when we give up the ideas of who we think we should be, and we give up the ideas of who we think others think we should be, or what others think we should be, we can find the cure. The solution lies with us. Thank you very much.